All right, I'll go ahead and call the special call board meeting for May 7th, 2020 to order. I'll entertain a motion to go to executive session.
So moved.
For personnel?
For personnel, superintendent search. So
Second.
Sam's and Halsey with the second. All those in favor? 6, missing, not here again.
And Ms. Bobbitt.
And Miss Bobbitt.
Just on the phone.
And
Oh.
Ms. Bobbitt. There's Hank. We're going to executive session. Hank, you for or against it? Thanks. 7-0.
Now you have 6.
I'll entertain a motion to go back into open session.
So moved.
Ms. Bobbitt,
Second.
second by Ms. Madalla. All those in favor? Unanimous, 7-0. Under other, anybody have any other? Chair? Yes. I make a motion that we offer Dr. Robert Scott Spence. Is this the time to do that? Yep. Okay. That's what I thought. Superintendent position. Glynn County Schools. Hearing the motion to appoint Dr. Spence as the Glynn County Superintendent of Schools, I'll get a second.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Bobbitt. Any discussion? Ms. Sams?
Yes. I just want to be clear that my vote is not an indication of an unwillingness to work with our new superintendent. It's solely based on my opinion of what I felt the professional qualifications that were important to our district for this position at this critical time in education. So,
Thank you, Ms. Sams.
Yeah.
Ms. Olson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with Ms. Sams, but I'd add that I think a lot of us have gotten phone calls, as you always do during, I mean, this is the biggest decision, that we make. Next will probably be the budget and then policy, but this is certainly the biggest decision we make. And I got a lot of questions about the process more than anything, and I think that throughout the process we all kind of raised questions about it feeling like it's more about the timeline than about the actual process. And 3/4 of the way through the process, we were still trying to talk about what we wanted to see in a superintendent, and then we put some stuff online about and asking the community for their feedback, and we didn't even look at that before it was posted, and it got posted 4 days after that initial vote, and we were asking people what they thought the qualities were that they wanted to see in a superintendent, and we only had one finalist. And so I think people felt like I don't know if it was disingenuous. I think we meant what we said when we put it out there. We wanted feedback, and I think we've all looked at it, but I think we all looked at the final report no more than 48 hours ago, and is it really enough time to digest what was out there? And I still think you have the element, if you will, of teachers that are skeptical and afraid to speak out and come forward about certain situations and things. And I've mentioned to y'all things that have given me pause, and of course this is not the time and the forum to talk about that anymore, but I think I'm a little disappointed that the culture hasn't changed more than I thought it might, even in the last few years, that there still is that culture that teachers feel like they can't be expressive. And when you put a survey online and ask for somebody's name and their email address, that there's just a feeling that somebody can get to what my comments are. And of course, if people have positive comments, they don't mind that, don't think too much about it. But the process, I sort of tried to caution us the whole time that we needed to take our time, and that if it took a little longer than we thought, it wouldn't be the end of the world. If we started the year with an interim, or it took even a little bit longer than we had anticipated to name a finalist, then I was okay with that. And I think that the community would respect that. I think the staff and our teachers would respect the fact that we were doing that. But the majority of the calls I got were about the process, and some about having a sole finalist, and wanting different choices. And again, to Edie's point, I've been doing this 15 years, and I've always worked with whomever is at the head, and I'll do that now. And we can agree to disagree on things and move forward in a positive way. We're moving in the right direction. I just hope we can continue that, and hopefully we can try to repair some of those relationships, and really work hard to make our system one that teachers and employees in general, not just teachers, can feel open to express their ideas and feelings. Because to be honest with you guys, there's still a culture of cronyism kind of in this county, and it's not just in the school board. I mean, you're seeing it every day in this community, where if you're not part of the in crowd, then you don't get the right treatment, and heaven forbid if you're on the outside and you do something wrong, and you don't know somebody or whatever, you may get run out of the system or whatever else, even if it's not deserved. So I really hope that we can start to repair some of that, fix some of that. I don't really know how. I mean, I've been here. I'm one person. I think we've all would want that. I'd hope we want that same thing, but for some reason it's just not there. But I hope we can change that moving forward.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Any other comments or discussion?
I do.
All right, Mr. Bell.
There's a couple of things. One, I asked for an email to go out that went out to all the administration and all the assistant principals and principals. I didn't get any responses, and I made sure that was in there that it was private, and that if you want me to keep it private, I would. Nobody responded. There's two ways to look at that. One of them is, when I looked at all the surveys, one of the bigger things in the surveys that was a negative that I think that I need to address in the public is the good old boy syndrome. And they say there was a lot of opinions. If it was a negative opinion, they spoke about the good old boy, which is exactly what he was talking about. I always say, when it comes to politics, look at what I do, don't look at what I say, because anybody can, throw out some beautiful speeches that mean absolutely nothing. So the proof that the good old boy system, to me, doesn't live here is Dr. Cole, because he's not from here, and he's been here for 3 years. So we were off of what would be considered that. And so my decision for Dr. Spence has nothing to do with good old boy, has nothing to do with anything except for that's the person that I feel could take our system forward. So when you look, you say, oh, it's just a bunch of good old boys like we are. Not necessarily. Dr. Cole is the proof. So I not that I don't like it, but don't look at what we say, look at what we've done, and this is what we've done. So, and I'm sure everybody's going to give ample opportunity for him to do what he needs to do. And it's a very difficult time that we're about to go through. And I think we've made the right decision, and it was a difficult decision. Yes, there's lots of very qualified people, but for me, and it's just me, I think this is what we need to lead us through this very difficult time. So, thank you.
I'd like to say something.
something.
Yes, a lot of different people called me and they wanted to know why I made my decision. So I think it's perfect for me to say that at this time. I made my decision based on what I felt that was good for our system at this particular time. Of course, with COVID-19, there's going to be a lot of different things that's going to be taking place over the next couple of months and also the next year. I believe I'm not a part of the good old boy syndrome. I'm a female, so let me just throw that out there. But to me, Dr. Spence was my choice. I believe he was the best candidate that we had that could take us to the next level based on the decisions that we had to make. That was why I voted for him. So I just want to put that out there because people want to know who I voted for and why I voted, and that's why I voted for him.
Understand. Thank you, Ms. Bob.
And
Anyone else?
Yeah, just, and I don't want to get into a debate, and that's not what this is about, but just for example, and in fairness to Dr. Cole, this particular incident didn't happen on his watch, but although there have been some that I have questioned and feel like I was justified to do so, but I think one of the glaring examples that I can give is when we had a teacher at a school who had been with the system for 10 years or so, and had applied for a transfer at another school, and was they were told they couldn't transfer, period. And someone wound up getting that job that didn't have a teaching degree, didn't have a teaching certificate, and was the daughter of an employee. And so I hear what you're saying, and I don't really like the good old boy system terminology, because I don't think that's really what it is. I think it can be there whether you're from here or not, and so I've brought that particular case up to you all before, and to our leadership and certain departments, and I feel like we should have done more to act on things like that. We had some similar situations where people are given treatment if they know you, or if you're a new teacher, goodness, watch your step. You can be non-renewed just because it's convenient, and that's that's a problem, and something I hope we can, like I said, we can address. So I don't think it goes away because you hire somebody from outside, because you still got 1,999 people that are living and working here, John. So all due respect, I mean, it doesn't go away with hiring somebody from the outside. But anyway, that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Discussion?
For clarification, that example that Mr. Holley's given was over 3 years ago, so just so you are aware of that.
And that's why he knows about this
4 years
situation.
ago.
And I'm interested in it, but he
I
knows.
just want the public to understand that.
Yeah, he knows about it.
It didn't happen last week or
Yeah.
last year, it happened 4 years ago.
But he knows about. He knows.
It wasn't in a school that was overseen by the candidate we were about to vote on.
Don't get me started on that school that he was at. So
That's fine. All right.
that's fine. Let's vote.
Yeah. All right, all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 5-2 in favor of Dr. Scott Smith, becoming the Glynn County School Superintendent. I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So, second.
All right, first by Dr. Garrett, again, second by Mr. Bobbitt. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Congratulations. All right.
Hey. All right.